Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura. So thank you all, dear devotees, for joining this evening once again. It is our first Friday of the holy month of Kartik, or Damodar month, and it's a very good turnout. Thank you. Both Padma Mataji is also here. Thank you for joining. And so we can get started. So since today is our Zoom session, please, if anybody has any thoughts to share, we can open up with that. We'll go for a few minutes on realizations, thoughts, or just want to say something, you want to share something, please feel free. We can get started with that. And then after that, we will have a little bit of Srimad Bhagavatam. We will continue from where we left off. We'll start a new chapter today, chapter 13, whole new angle. And then we will have our Damodar Ashtakam. So, anybody want to share any thoughts? Perhaps if you want to talk about anything you're doing different from month of Damodar, or anything you would like to start doing differently, maybe a little more intensification, whatever you like, please share your thoughts. See, we have Hetu Mataji is there, Kinjal Mataji is there, Lakshmi Mataji is there, Madhu Mataji, Madhvi Mataji. We have quite a few. Minash Prabhu is also here, Padma Mataji, Padmalata Mataji, Srimati Mataji, and Vivian Mataji. I am the only one who's not a Mataji, and Sanjay. And Soham Prabhu, Hari Bol. And of course, Minash Prabhu. Yes, Minash Prabhu has his camera on now. So you can turn on, you can unmute yourself if you'd like to share something. Hetu Mataji, go ahead. Just unmute yourself.
So I know that this is the Kartik month that's going on, and what's the significance of this month?
Yeah, this is a very important month. It's considered very sacred because this is the month where it's called the month of Damodar. And all kinds of wonderful leelas were done by Krishna in this month, some of the sweetest ones. And in particular, the leela of Damodar, where he is tied by the love of his mother in the form of the rope. So Dama means rope and Udar means belly. So his rope around his belly, he is tying him with the wooden grinding mortar for being very naughty. So it's a very cute, very sweet pastime. So to celebrate that. And that pastime happened on right in the middle of the month. Actual date was on the day of Diwali. Of course, Diwali is a very important day. We have Govardhan Puja the next day after Diwali. That's a very important day. Of course, in our Gujarati community, that's our New Year's, Govardhan Puja, where we worship the cows. So a lot of sacred days and high holidays in this month, right in the middle of it. And so this month is considered very, very sacred. This month is also known as Urja Vrat month, which is very dear to Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani is known as Urjeshwari. She is the Lord, or she is the controller of this Urja Vrat, where people take on some kind of vrat to intensify their love for Krishna, their practice for Krishna consciousness, to increase their austerity somewhat. It's also a special sale month. You know how sometimes you have Diwali sale or Christmas sale, so like that. This month is a sale where for the price of one gold coin, say you want to buy gold, but you buy one and you get 100 free, something like that. On other months, you just buy one and you get one. But on this month, you buy one gold coin, you get 100 gold coins free. So similarly, it is the kind of month where you do one round of Hare Krishna and you get like hundreds of rounds of benefit. It's multiplied. So of course, this is really to entice people who are not practicing to start practicing. Like that. Those are not already regular customers, is to bring them into the door, Special deal for new customers. So those are already established customers, they are very fortunate anyway. This is to increase the fortune of those who are not in that club, So of course, even those of us who are practicing, we should, whatever incremental benefit that we want to gain, whatever more we decide to do, we'll get many-fold returns. So, which is why then we add this extra bhajan we sing and we meditate on Krishna in the form of Damodar. And anybody who offers a ghee lamp or any flame to the Lord, even once during this month, is guaranteed all kind of spiritual benedictions, including liberation. So, all kinds of benedictions are there. So, please join us every day as we will be doing this Damodar Ashtakam. I think what we'll start doing is, like I think last year also we did every night, right, on this channel. So we can do something like that, at least every weeknight or something, because weekends there's all kinds of other programs going on. So we'll get that started again. We'll start that today. Good question. Thank you, Mataji. Anybody else want to share? See, Akanksha Mataji joined. Welcome. Anybody else want to share any thoughts?
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. How are you? How are you, Bini Prabhu?
We all are good, Prabhuji.
Good, wonderful.
Weather almost started here. Temperature is getting cool.
Of course, you're in Canada, right? Canada is where the cold air is manufactured and is exported to America, Yeah, so that's how it is. Yeah. Hopefully you can come and visit us.
Sure. We are just waiting for 6 months. Once we will complete 6 months, then we'll apply for visa.
Yeah, very good, very good.
Okay.
Anyone else want to share anything? Yeah, please go ahead. Who else we got? Okay. All right. Can anybody tell me what major festival was we just passed recently? Last week? Very important one.
Dasara?
Yeah, what does that represent? I think we kind of mentioned it the last time.
Good over evil?
With Vijay Dashmi?
Yes. Vijayadashmi or Dasara. Yeah.
Me and Sharat Purnima was,
Yeah, and Sharad Purnima was just, was it yesterday or day before?
day before. Tuesday and Wednesday, depending on whichever tithi you follow.
Right. Yeah, so Sharad Purnima is also important, and Vijayadashmi is very important. That's Lord Ram defeating Ravan. So that's why, it's all kind of, this is like Vijayadashmi kicks off all the wonderful, festival days, holy days. And Sharad Purnima comes up. Yeah. And what else is going on? All right. Okay, what we can do is we can start Srimad Bhagavatam, because we do need to also go downstairs and do our Damodar Ashtakam later on. So you can see my other screen has, it's all set up from our altar. So, anybody remember where we ended off in Srimad Bhagavatam? What was chapter 12 about? Anybody recall? No? I might have to do it again then. Yes, Akanksha.
Prabhuji. So we were discussing for Parikshit Maharaj, some predictions was there for Parikshit Maharaj, just how he will be and how Takshak will come and he'll bite.
Yes. So all the predictions were there, and then the astrologers made the prediction and went home, and that's how we ended up that chapter. Yeah, that's how.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, now I have some questions for all of you on this Mahabharata and Bhagavatam section. Does anybody know who was the uncle of the Pandavas? So we had the father of the Pandavas was Pandu, who died, and then the Pandu's one brother was Dhritarashtra, who was blind. But who was the other third uncle?
Vidurji.
Ah, yes, correct. Vidurji is also their uncle. But the problem with Vidur is he couldn't take the throne because his mother was a maidservant, so he couldn't take the throne. But he was actually the brother of Pandu and Dhritarashtra. Now, Vidura, incidentally, was also the incarnation of who? Anybody know? He was very smart. He was very knowledgeable in religion, religious principles. You know this. So he was actually the incarnation of, who knows all the principles of religion. He's a very important devata. And he was cursed. He was cursed as a matter of fact. And because of the curse, he had to take a birth as a son of a maidservant.
Narad Muni?
No.
Brahma?
No.
Was it Brahma?
Is it Indra? Is it Indra?
Not
Indra?
Indra, not Narada, not Brahma,
Vyasadeva?
not Vyasadeva. He's a devata. And he knows all the principles of dharma. Who is that? Who is that?
Dharmaraj?
Yes, Dharmaraj, or also famously known as, anybody know?
Yeah.
Yamraj? Yamraj?
Yamraj.
Yeah,
Correct. Yamraj. That's right. You know. So
Dharmaraj and Dharmaraj are same people? I thought Dharmaraj was Yudhishthir, right?
Yudhishthira was known as Dharmaraj because he was the son of Dharmaraj, Yamraj. Yudhishthira's father, just like Bhim's father is Pavan, right? Vayudev. Arjuna's father is Lord Indra, and Yudhishthira's father is Dharmaraj, Yamraj. So interestingly, Yamaraj, who had to take birth during these Mahabharata episodes, is, when he had to take birth here, who was managing the Yamalok? Because Yamalok also needs to be managed by, he's a king of Yamalok and he has to be away over here. So he actually put a deputy in place whose name is Aryama, you see. So Yam, the name Yama comes from rules and regulations. You must have heard Niyam and Yam Niyam. So Yamraj means the Lord of regulations, Yam and Niyam. Niyam means what you must do always, and Yam means what you're not allowed to do. And he knows very well what you're not allowed to do, and if you do what you're not supposed to be doing, he'll get on his buffalo and bring you to Yamalok, and you'll be, cleansed. Or, like you wash the clothes. So then he does what they call dhulai. Dhulai means he washed the clothes, right? Dhulai means to beat somebody else. Have you seen how they wash the clothes in India? They use a flat bat and they whack it by the, right? So that you get whacked. So if you're very sinful, then Yamraj does dhulai for you. You get cleansed like that. It's kind of a hard job. Of course, he has many people assisting him. Yum, sounds yum, but not really. But he was born as Vidura. And Vidura helped the Pandavas a lot. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is our next chapter, chapter 13, is about Vidura. Okay? Vidura is also the brother of Dhritarashtra. So he gives counsel to Dhritarashtra. But Dhritarashtra sometimes doesn't listen because, he's the king. He doesn't feel like listening. But Vidura tries his best. So let us get started, and we'll go on till about just 7:30 or 7:35. We'll see how long we can last. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sutta Uvacha. Vidurastirthayatrayam Maitreyādatmano gatim Gyatva gadhastina puram Tayavapta vivitsita. So the first word is Vidura. Sri Suta Goswami said, while traveling on pilgrimage, Vidura received knowledge of the destination of the self from the great sage Maitreya, and then returned to Hastinapur. He became as well versed in the subject as he desired. So his guru in this particular life was Maitreya Muni. Now remember, he'd gone on pilgrimage before the war started. So Vidura was not hanging around when the war was going on. He had gone on pilgrimage. He came back after the war. He's coming back now after all that episode. So pilgrimage back then used to take a long time. You didn't have so many like planes and things, so at least they didn't have access to them. All right. Yavata kritavan prashnan kshatta kausharavagrata jataika bhaktir govinde tebhyaschopara ramaha. After asking various questions and becoming established in the transcendental loving service of Lord Krishna, it says Bhaktir Govinde. Vidura retired from putting questions to Maitreya Muni. So he fully understood that Lord Krishna is the one to be worshipped. Now Vidura, of course, is pure devotee. Vidura is one of the great, as Yamaraj, he's one of the 12 great Mahajans, 12 great devotees. Tam bandhum agatam drishtva dharmaputra sahanuja dhritarashtra yuyutsuscha suta sharadvata pratha Gandhari Draupadi Brahman Subhadra Chottara Kripi Anyascha Jamaya Pandor Gyataya Sasuta Striya. So now Vidura is returning back to the palace. When they saw Vidura return to the palace, all the inhabitants, Maharaj Yudhishthir, his younger brothers, Dhritarashtra, Satyaki, Sanjay, Kripacharya, Kunti, Gandhari, Draupadi, Subhadra, Uttara, Kripi, many other wives of the Kauravas and other ladies with children all hurried to him in great delight. He was very beloved. They loved him so much. It so appeared that they had regained their consciousness after a long period. Even though he is the Dasi Putra, but he is such a pure devotee, he is very much loved by everybody. Pratyujjagmu praharshena pranam tanva ivagatam abhisangamya vidhivat parishvanga bhivadanai. With great delight, they all approached him as if life had returned to their bodies. They exchanged obeisances and welcomed each other with embraces. Mumuchu prema bashpaugam viraha utkanthyakatara rajatam arhayam chakre kritasana parigraham. Due to anxieties and long separation, they all cried out of affection. King Yudhishthira then arranged to offer sitting accommodations and a reception. You know how someone you love after a long time, when they show up finally, they're here, you should be happy. But we all, sometimes we cry. We cry out of happiness that you're here. We also cry that we remember how much we missed you, like that. So these are natural tears. It's very much deep in the heart, these feelings of love. Tam bhuktavantam vishrantam asinam sukhamasane prashraya vanato raja prahatesham cha shrinvatam. After Vidura ate sumptuously and took sufficient rest, he was comfortably seated. Then the king began to speak to him, and all who were present there listened. The king at that time was Yudhishthira Maharaj. So Yudhishthira Maharaj said, Yudhishthira uvacha apasmarathano yushmat paksha chaya samedhitan vipadganad vishagnayer mochitayat samatrika. Maharaj Yudhishthira said, my uncle, do you remember how you always protected us, along with our mother, from all sorts of calamities? Remember, Uncle Vidur gave them the hint that, look, Duryodhana is going to try to kill you with this Laksha Graha, in this house of wax. It's going to burn down in a second. So he saved them many times like that. Your partiality, like the wings of a bird, saved us from poisoning and arson. The poison cake, and also all kinds of different poisoning attempts. And arson means, being burnt down. Kaya vritya vartitam vash charad bhikshiti mandalam tirthani kshetra mikhyani sevitani habhutale. While traveling on the surface of the earth, how did you maintain your livelihood? At which holy places and pilgrimage sites did you render service? They're wondering, because he left home, he didn't carry anything with him. He just walked out the door like that, no luggage. And he started walking. And we'll learn about what happened later on. in the Bhagavatam, but he had a argument with Duryodhan. Duryodhan made some very offensive remarks to his uncle. So Vidura just left and just walked out. So then Yudhishthira is wondering, how did you, you're traveling holy places, you didn't have anything, how did you even eat, and so on. Bhavad Vidha Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Svantasthena Gadabhrita. This is a very important line actually. Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani. Those who are pure devotees, they actually, wherever they visit, that place itself becomes a Tirthastan because of their visit, their presence there. So he's like, you went on holy pilgrimage, but you are the one who carries the Lord in your heart. My dear Lord, my Lord, devotees like your good self are verily holy places personified. You yourself are a holy place. Because you carry the personality of God within your heart, you turn all places into places of pilgrimage. Srila Prabhupada, he visited so many places. Wherever he visited, we ISKCON devotees, we consider them places of pilgrimage. That is why when he founded ISKCON in New York, we go and we bow down our heads there. That tree where he preached under in Manhattan, we go and embrace that tree. We offer obeisances to that tree, to that ground. Because Srila Prabhupada stood there and he preached. Even in remote places like in Kenya, in Africa, in the city of Nairobi, there is a holy place because Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet touched there. He visited smaller towns like Mombasa and Eldoret and Nakuru and some very unusual names that you never even heard of. He visited all these places and he preached there with the Africans. You've never heard of these towns, but Prabhupada went there. They all become holy places. Tirthi kurvanti tirthani. So here he's saying that Vidura, Uncle Vidura, you are personified Tirtha. Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho. Swayam yourself. Vibho, you're so great. Why? Because you keep the Lord in your heart. Bhavad Vidha Bhagavatas. So Yudhishthira Maharaj continues. Api na suhridastata bandhava Krishna devata drishta shrutava yadava swapuryam sukhamasate. My uncle, you must have visited Dwarka. In that holy place are our friends and well-wishers, the descendants of Yadu, who are always wrapped in the service of Lord Sri Krishna. You might have seen them or heard about them. Are they all living happily in their abodes? Okay, so at this point now, you see Vidur has come back and he has witnessed something very ghastly. The entire Yadu dynasty was wiped out. And there's a whole story behind that. We'll come to it, how they got wiped out and all that. It's quite a tragic thing, but it happened. It's all Krishna's arrangement. But he didn't mention it here. So let's read about it. He says, Iti ukto dharma rajena sarvam tat sammavarnyayat yatha nubhutam kramasho vinayadu kulakshayam. Thus being questioned by Maharaj Yudhishthir, Mahatma Vidur gradually described everything he had personally experienced, except news of the annihilation of the Yadu dynasty. So he'll talk about everything, but he holds back. Vina Yadu Kulakshayam. Kshayam means destruction. He said everything he tells in step by step, except for that part. Vina means without it. Nanva priyam durvishaham nrinam swayam upasthitam navedayat sakaruno dukhitan drashtumakshama. Compassionate Mahatma Vidura could not stand to see the Pandavas distressed at any time. Therefore he did not disclose this unpalatable and unbearable incident because calamities come of their own accord. I don't need to make things worse. When it'll happen, it'll happen. Kanchit kalam athavatsit satkrito deva vatsukham bhratur jyeshthasya shreyaskrit Sarvesham Sukhamavahan. Thus Mahatma Vidur, being treated just like a godly person by his kinsmen, remained there for a certain period just to rectify the mentality of his eldest brother and in this way bring happiness to all others. Bhratur Jyeshtasya Shreyaskrit. Who is this eldest brother? His mentality is still not proper. Eldest brother is Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra lost all his sons. You'd think he would be okay by now. Okay in the sense you think he would have seen the truth, but he hasn't. He hasn't understood the reality of life. Dhritarashtra is still a little bit messed up. Not because his kids died. He has been messed up for a long time. Very selfish, very materialistic. And so to set him on the right spiritual path, Vidura has come back. And this will bring happiness to all. Sarvesham Sukhamavahan. Abhibrad Aryama Dandam Yathavad Aghakarishu Yavat Dadhara Shudratvam Shapadvarsha Shatam Yama. As long as Vidura played the part of a Shudra, being cursed by Manduka Muni, Aryama officiated at the post of Yamraj to punish those who committed sinful acts. So this is referring to that curse, where Vidura was cursed to be born Shudra, and so he had to put somebody, an acting Yamraj, Aryama was his name, to do his duties, to kind of fill in for him while he has to cut his sentence of being punished. Yudhishthiro labdharajyo drishtva pautram kulandharam bhratrabhir lokapalabhair mumude parayashriya. Having won his kingdom and observed the birth of one grandson competent to continue the noble tradition of his family, Maharaj Yudhishthir reigned peacefully and enjoyed uncommon opulence in cooperation with his younger brothers, who were all expert administrators to the common people. So now he was at peace. Mentally he had been pacified by the teachings of Bhishma Dev. Then further pacified when Parikshit Maharaj was saved, and Parikshit Maharaj is born now. Very soon he'll grow up to be the king, continue this tradition. And so at mental peace he remained ruling the kingdom very beautifully with all his brothers. Never fought with his brothers or anything like that. Evam griheshu sattanam pramattanam tadihaya atya kramada vigyata kala paramadushtara. Insurmountable eternal time imperceptibly overcomes those who are too much attached to family affairs and are always engrossed in their thought. See, this idea that these family members, they're mine to enjoy, like some kind of commodity that I can consume selfishly. That is called attachment to family. Having affection is not attachment. Having genuine care that they do well in their life, that they do well in spiritual life, that they become progressive, that is not attachment, that is not undue attachment, that is natural. But to think they are there for my enjoyment, that is what this is referring to. And if we are of that mentality or develop that mentality too much, then this kala, paramadushtara, this insurmountable time, the word kala means time, and it's also used interchangeably with death. Then we die more and more inside. And this time will erase us. And it will damage us. The time factor. Why? Because we are wasting time by thinking this is all mine to enjoy. See? Therefore, we are always advised to see our family members as our fellow devotees on the path to move closer to Krishna. And we help each other. We give each other pure, selfless, affectionate care and love. Not exploitation, not a sense of false proprietorship and ownership. No, we're all children of God, and we have to take care of each other. So this attitude needs to be corrected, otherwise this time factor will mess us up. See, now this idea that these are mine and those are not mine, like Dhritarashtra would always do that. He wouldn't mind seeing Pandu's sons being killed as long as his sons get promoted. See? So Vidura came to correct this Dhritarashtra's false attachment to family matters, this proprietorship, a sense of selfish angle of family affairs. Vidurastadabhipretya Dhritarashtram abhasata Rajan nirgamyatam shigram pashyedam bhayamagatam. Mahatma Vidur knew all this, and therefore he addressed Dhritarashtra saying, "My dear king, please get out of here immediately. Do not delay. Just see how fear has overtaken you." See? His sons already died. Just you and Gandhari left. What's wrong with you? Now it's time to get serious about your spiritual life. Leave this place, this comforts. What's wrong with you? Wake up. So this is the mood of his teachings to Dhritarashtra. So we'll pause over here on text 18. We'll continue on text 19 next time. So do please join us. And we have quite a few devotees joined also a little bit later. Thank you for joining. I see Joey is there, and Ashish Prabhu joined, and Monica Mataji joined. Thank you all for joining. We are now going to go downstairs and offer, I see Anu Mataji joined also, Esha Mataji. Will offer our ghee lamp to Lord Damodar. You may also offer to your own altars with your pictures, and like last year, if you like, you can share an image of your altar. So if you don't have a ghee lamp or something ready available, that's also okay. You can just participate with us and sing along. Please look up Damodarashtakam. Does anybody have? Maybe what I can do is I can see if I can find Damodarashtakam and share on the screen.
Prabhuji, we have to lamp the new one or the regular one?
Regular one is fine as long as it's washed and clean.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhu.
Can someone do me a favor, and find Damodarashtakam and share on your screen, share screen. In the meantime, I'm going to go downstairs and we'll start singing. Okay?
Yeah, I can do that.
Anu Mataji, thank you. So if you can just kind of share what the song is so other devotees can read along, and then we can sing along as well, all right? Okay, it's a very beautiful song. Let's see. Namami Sharam, okay. All right, so please join us. I'm just going to head down. Oh, perfect, you got it, thank you. All right, Haribol. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, great. Oops. Okay. You see me, I suppose? Okay, good. Anu Mataji, maybe you can read the first English translation, number 1, and then let's see, I'll assign translation readers. Anu Mataji, then Who else? I'll just do alphabetically. Esha Mataji, Akanksha Mataji, Ashish Prabhu, and Hetu Mataji. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I think it's Rasaprana Prabhu. I'm not sure if he's able to read easily. Joey, I can read. And Kinjal Mataji. So you can read like that, and then Lakshmi Mataji. All right. So please go ahead, start reading. To the Supreme Lord.
To the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge, and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokula, who, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was turning into butter, and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from a swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding motor in fear of Mother Yashoda, but who has been caught from behind by her, who ran after him with greater speed. And to that Supreme Lord Sri Damodara, I offer my humble obeisance.
Thank you. Okay, who else? Who's next over here? We have Esha Mataji, if you'd like to read.
Yeah, sure.
And then Akanksha Mataji.
Seeing the weeping streak in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara, whose belly is bound not with ropes, but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances.
Thank you. All right. Next is Akanksha Mataji. And then Ashish Prabhu.
By such childhood pastime as he is drowning. Wait a minute, Prabhuji. By such childhood pastime as he is drowning, inhabitant of Gokul in pool of ecstasy, and is revealing on those devotees who are observed and in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence, that he is only conquered by devotee whose pure love is
Imbued. Yeah.
imbued with intimacy and is free from all conceptions of wait, Prabhuji. My mobile.
Oh, okay. Awe and reverence. Yeah.
All and reverence with great love I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodar hundreds and hundreds of times.
Thank you, Mataji. Ashish Prabhu and then Hetu Mataji.
Yeah, sure, Prabhu. My friend is gonna read. I'm gonna driving. He's gonna read.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Vijay.
Oh Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikunath, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 process of Bhakti. Oh Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Madanagopala in Vrindavana may ever be manifest in my heart, for what is the use to me of any other boon besides this?
O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair tingled with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me.
Thank you. Rasapran Prabhu, then Joey, and then Kinjal Mataji. Don't know if Rasapran
I will
Prabhu.
read it, Prabhu.
Yes, go ahead.
Which number? 6?
Yeah, 6.
Okay. O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you, O Damodar, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord. Be pleased upon me by showering your glance of mercy upon me. Deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrow and became visible to my eyes.
Thank you. Don't forget Joey and then Kinjal Mataji.
O Lord Damodar, just as the two sons of Kuvera, Manigriv and Nalakuvar, were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby, tied with rope to a wooden grinding mortar. In the same way, please give to me your own prema bhakti. I only long for this and love no desire for any kind of liberation. Have no desire for kind of liberation.
O Lord Damodar, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgent robe which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer all obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord, who displays unlimited pastime. Sri Radha Damodar ki jai.
Yeah. So we'll start the singing. If we can go to the top, yes. Maybe zoom in a little bit so we can see the words. If we can, yeah, that's great. Yes, we'll start from the top. Perfect. Oh, you know what? Hold on just 1 second. I think Madhav and them are here. Very well. Madhav, come. Madhav, come out first. Come. They're waiting for you. Come. Looks Madhav is here. Just arrived. Okay. We'll start. Alright. Wash your hands and come in. Vishwaram Satchidanandarupam Dasa Kundalam Gopule Brajamanam Yashoda Bhiyano Kala Kavamanam Param Vishnam Adyanta Sodrutya Gopya Rudam Namo Bhurnetra Yumam Vriksha Taram Bujayo Mena Satam Tajetra Moho Shasakam Patri Rekham Kanta Sita Prevam Namo Naram Bhakti Pratam Iti Vriksha Lila Ananda Kosne Svago Shamni Majanta Makapayanta Taliye Shita Nesho Bhakai Jitatma Una Prema Tasnam Shata Vritti Mande Param Deva Moksham Mokshavadima Nachanyam Vriham Parishadapiham Vedam Deva Purnata Nupalamana Sadame Manasya Vinashanti Mane Idam Temukam Bojam Adyastanilai Idam Sutane Smita Jai. So thank you all for joining. If you'd like, please share. I see already who is sharing. Padma Mataji is sharing. Wonderful. Sharing a view of her altar. Very beautiful. Anybody else would like to share the view of their altar? I see Monica Mataji is sharing. Jai Ho. Minash Prabhu is sharing his view. We have Hetu Mataji sharing her Ladu Gopal. Very beautiful.
Wow.
So many nice Lakshmi Mataji's wonderful altar.
Jai,
Madhu
Jai.
Mataji sharing all the wonderful pictures on her wall. Ashish Prabhu is sharing our main altar in Tobacco. Hari Bol! Jai Ho! Jai Shri Gaurnitai. Thank you, Akanksha Mataji. Anu Mataji is sharing her. A little blurry, but that's okay. I think it's a blurred setting. That's why you have a blurred setting in your background. Padma
Hari
Mataji,
Bol.
Padma Reddy Mataji is sharing. Padma Lata Mataji. And wonderful. So nice to see everyone. Kinjal Mataji, yes.
Where?
Yeah, right here.
Hari Bol.
And Esha Mataji sharing her Ladu
Jai,
Gopal Darshan.
Ladu Gopal.
Vivian Mataji shared her altar.
Wow.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. And Joey sharing all the sweet candies in his in the candy factory. And we can offer to Krishna all these wonderful sweet candies. And the Srila Prabhupada, Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada in Tobacco is right there. Very fortunate. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Hari Bol. Thank you all so much for joining. This is the sweetest time of the year. And welcome, Madhav. Madhav is back from college for a few days just to hang out with us.
Happy home, happy back home.
We can see your face.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Haribol, Madhav.
Bye,
Yeah,
Madam.
Madhav. Bye, Madhav.
Haribol
That beard is growing, man. Is that the sign you're working hard?
Hari Bol, Minash Prabhu.
You're actually working hard with the beard on, you know?
Yeah, it's a full moon, so the wolf comes out. Tomorrow it'll be back to normal. Yeah, don't worry. Thank you all for your blessing and sharing the darshan of your deity. It's very sweet. Hari Bol. Radha Damodar ki Jai. Shri Prabhupada. Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Haribol.